Welcome on back to another episode of Bar Talk. I hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. I hope you enjoyed part of your Sunday as well. We are at episode number 31 tonight. If that is correct, yes, we're at episode number 31. So I am so excited for tonight for a number of reasons. One thing I did want to tell you guys though is, so like I said, I finally moved and I went grocery shopping today for the first time in a very, very long time. It's very weird to wear a mask for like an entire period of a day. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I feel like I'm suffocating, and it just really puts into perspective like our nurses and doctors and everyone who has to wear this, because I don't want to wear it when I'm trying to go get food, and I can't imagine how they must feel. Okay, what am I drinking today? Drinking a Miller Lite, can of Miller, drinking it from the pub. Let me know what it is that you guys are drinking and where you are drinking from, all right? Cheers. Hello, Snooks. Hello, Golfer. Hello, Traveling Rosie. Guys, welcome on in. Mr. Catfish. Francesca. Guys. Hi, Mom. Hi, Kay. All right. Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, we flipped. Sorry, technical difficulties. Okay, so let me tell you about our next guest tonight and kind of why I really, really wanted to have him on. So tonight we are having Adam Chalifoux. Adam and I went to DePaul together many years ago now, I guess we could say. And I promise you, I don't know a bigger Bulls fan on the planet. Adam has had a podcast, I believe, since we were in college called Running with the Bulls. He is a sports reporter. He has worked up in Montana. He is currently in Boulder, Colorado, covering the University of Colorado. He's a contributing writer. He does radio. I mean, the man literally does it all. So I figured, why not have him come on in, and I just kind of want to talk shop with him because I find myself every Sunday night and every Monday morning just wanting to keep this conversation going, and there's no better person to have than Adam. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get Adam to jump on in. This conversation going. Adam, fair-weathered fan. I don't think that that's true. I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Here. I have a Miller High Life here.
Love it.
Keep it classy. Champagne of beers, if you didn't know.
It is the champagne of beers, my guy.
Shout out to Tiaco here on Pearl Street in Boulder. Check this out. I rode my bicycle. This is a house margarita, baby. So I got round one. I got round two. Ready to rock and roll, baby. Nothing better than talking bull.
Okay, so let's first talk about, I'm loving the mustache.
Oh,
not many people can pull it off, dude.
Yeah,
and and your hair is still good. I feel like most men at this point have like the buzz cuts going.
I said it's because I ride my bike so fast, it just blows my hair back. I look like Prince Charming. And it's actually after Phil Jackson, the mustache. I was like, because I had the beard, and I'm like, no, dude. I haven't won my 5th championship yet. It's still 1991 in my book. Therefore, mustache. Jackson.
There.
Yeah, I was trying to go with like the Phil Jackson, Big Lebowski thing with the beard, and then I tried the awful goatee. So anyway, thank you for the fabulous introduction. It's so great to be here.
I'm so happy to have you on. We have someone saying, one of my customers, he said, will you stop picking on the dude? Benji, I'm not picking on him. I promise. I thoroughly love the mustache. I really do. So first off, Adam, cheers. Thank you so much for coming on in. Everyone, cheers. Okay, so I know that you are, seriously, you were the first person I thought of when I was like, oh my God, they're moving up The Last Dance. I can't even imagine how excited you have been through this entire process. Tell me what your biggest takeaway was from last night.
Wow, yeah. Last night, honestly, it started so great because you have the 1998 NBA All-Star Game, which featured legend after legend. And a lot of these guys who became legends in our sports lifetime, like when we're starting to remember things as teenagers, when they were super young, guys like Kobe. Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure Kevin Garnett was in that All-Star game. He was starting to really blow up, and Reggie Miller, legends like that. So the way they started and then to use that as a way to explain Jordan's influence on Kobe Bryant was very appropriate. And I thought it was very insightful as well, the way Kobe explained that Jordan helped him become a better player. And I think it contextualizes it for people like us who are maybe on that cusp, late 90s or whatever, early 90s babies or whatever, that, you know, obviously don't remember all the details, but Kobe was extremely similar to Jordan. And so to see Kobe Bryant, you know, rest in peace, say that he would have won those championships without Michael Jordan, it puts another level of greatness on Jordan's legacy, I think.
I love the line. So I pulled it up because I wanted to find, it was like the 5 best lines from last night. And we'll get into like my favorite one, but he said, what you get from me, you get from him. I don't get 5 championships here without him. And to me, because like I always hated the conversation of like, who's the best of all time? Is it Jordan? Is it Kobe? Is it LeBron? Like, why can't you just appreciate greatness as greatness? Right. Like, you're not going to compare 2 painters to each other to see what painting is better. Like, you appreciate.
Van Gogh's the GOAT. What are you talking about? Van Gogh, man.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like, you have to appreciate what they do, because like he said, like it is because of him that he has influenced me. And then you even look at the guys that have been influenced by Kobe. So it's just this like giant trickle down effect, you know?
Yeah. And I don't want to get into the details because I'm working on, you know, I always work in the dark, but I've had to look back at some Dr. J recently for a reason I won't get into. But I have a belief that you can't have guys without the person who came before. And so you aren't going to have, obviously, Kobe Bryant without Michael Jordan. And so many of the guys now, like even Trae Young to a certain degree, you're not going to have without Kobe Bryant. And so it's interesting because it's telling, like the big story, this is the story of evolution of the sport. You know what I mean? And you can't have the next step without the previous.
So true. Okay, really quick to everyone who is listening on in, because my favorite part about us doing this is you guys are a part of the conversation as well. So if you have questions at all or comments you want to say about The Last Dance, about the Bulls, about anything, questions you want us to answer, by all means, type them on in, and I will do my best to kind of look at them so we can answer them and keep the comments flowing. I forgot to say that. But Adam, what was your favorite line from last night?
Oh, I mean, I guess the stuff at the beginning where they're referring to Kobe as that, like, young dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hog the ball or whatever, you know what they were saying. I thought that was so great because we forget how selfish Kobe was as a player early on.
Yeah.
But he would, you know, just go dribble around and take on the whole team. And so it's interesting to hear that from, obviously, you know, Jordan had to learn that too. And that also speaks for the influence of Phil Jackson on Kobe and Jordan. Like, Phil wasn't coaching Kobe yet, clearly. You know what I mean? But to take these guys who are just like, it's a blessing for us all as basketball fans. It really is. To have Phil Jackson just happen to inherit the 2 greatest models, if you will, of this brand of player, the go-get-me-a-bucket shooting guard. And that really redefined what it means to be a successful basketball player within their eras.
So someone had said here.
Great,
okay, yes, it is literally in my notes, and it says you are only a success at the moment you perform a successful act. You have to do it again. JP said it, so JP, thank you for saying it. It is.
Cheers to JP.
Cheers to JP, because when he said that, I think I had chills all over my body. I was like, put it on a shirt, put it on a hoodie, tattoo it on my back. Like, I want that to forever be my mindset.
Yeah.
I just love it. And the other one, I'm only packing one suit.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's a mood. Or what do we say? What do we say as millennials now? That's like
what the young people say. Don't ask
I don't know either. Someone help me. It's like my motto.
My dad's pretty hip. He's watching. He's on Reddit and stuff, so he might know.
But like, I love that because like I'm only packing one suit. We're going because I wish like I think everyone thought they were gonna win that game and they didn't. And it's like you ain't packing two suits. You're packing one.
Yeah.
That's it. That's
honestly like that just made me excited for some of the upcoming stuff too, because there's so many big road games they have against the Utah as the 97 finals and the 98 finals. And I can't wait for them to break down the antithesis of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Like you have the pick and roll nightmare. I was just on another thing that'll be on my YouTube. Follow me on FoukTube, F-O-U-X. Anyway, I'm on YouTube talking to my friend Keith and Haley. We're talking about these guys too. But Jerry Sloan coaches this Jazz team. They don't miss the playoffs for like 2 decades. Like I don't think they ever missed as Sloan was coaching. And then you have Stockton come in the same draft class as Jordan. And then the next year you had Karl Malone. And so you can't talk about the 90s Bulls. You can't talk about the second three-peat without talking about those Utah Jazz teams that met them for 66% of those finals. You know what I mean? Like two of the 3 years.
very interesting. One of my biggest takeaways from last night was how the media just totally bombarded him. Like when they showed that clip of him sitting on the couch and then whoever was the voiceover was saying like from the minute he got off the elevator it was a circus, to the minute he got in the car it was a circus, to the minute he got to the arena before he even could get into the locker room. And then Magic Johnson had said something where it was something along the lines of you're going to drive him away from the game.
Yeah.
So and I thought that was yeah. And so one thing I would love to get like your point of view on it, like as I hate using the word media because I feel like there's different levels of it, but as people who report on sports will say, what do you think is important for like our generation of reporters to maybe take away from this so we don't do that to the next guys or girls who are playing that we report on?
Opinion. This goes against what we learned in journalism school, but I play by my playbook, man. Real talk. And I think that you have to be careful about how you treat athletes and realize that, like anyone else, they're a human being, right? And so, for example, I remember I was covering a game in Montana in this res team, which is a term for a team that plays from an Indian reservation. They went into this 1-3-1 against a team I followed the hell out of, right?
Right.
And so they go into this 1-3-1 full court trap and come back. The res team comes back from down, I think it was 12, 13 points, right? And they come back and win this game. And so then I'm like, I'm not going to text my buddy on this team. You know what I mean? There was someone I was friends with. I hung out with him and his family. They were awesome people. I'm going to maintain their privacy, however. But right. I'm like, I'm not going to text this person. And so then, thank you, Gino. And so anyway, then sure enough, a few days later, this person texts me and is like, that was rough. And I'm like, yes, it was. Do they not like coach you against that? And then I had to explain how you beat a 1-3-1, but that's a different story. But you have to respect a player's vulnerability. You have to respect that you're not – you know why Ahmad Rashad got the scoop? Because he had Jordan's respect.
Yeah.
You got to play a game here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to bend over backwards and cater to an athlete, but I'm not going to screw him either, you know?
Yeah.
And how would I beat a 1-3-1? Well, what they were doing was lob passes. And that's the last thing you want to do. You want some help. What they were doing, like I know how you don't do it, and that's, you know, their best playmaker was their center, and they tried to have him like dribble up against this 1-3-1, and like, you guys are out of your friggin' minds. And then he's like, did he tell you to throw lob passes? Like, yeah, that's what we practice in practice. I said, bud, you need to dribble up and throw a friggin' chest pass. What are you doing? Who's coaching you? Phil Jackson's from Montana. Is the irony here, man. You know who knows how to beat a 1-3-1 is Phil Jackson, but the Montana coach, he was from Kentucky, didn't really know anything about.
Different. Okay, so your first job out of college was in Great Falls, Montana, where Phil is from. And again,
Yeah.
I know you are a huge Phil Jackson admirer, I'll say, because I
Yeah.
think you just really, I know you had said like his book really kind of changed your, yeah. So like, was there anything of being in Montana when you were there for, what were you there, about a year and a half?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
What did you learn? Was there anything that you learned in that year and a half that like you got to see maybe from Phil's actual perspective?
Definitely Native American culture, you know,
Elaborate.
especially basketball culture. I don't know if this is something that influenced Phil Jackson per se, because I haven't read anything that is explicitly stated this, but res ball is a different style of ball, and it's similar to how the 90s first three-peat Bulls would have played. Extremely fast tempo, and then the elements of the triangle just being super selfless. But basically, the principles are like guard the fuck out of the wings. I can say fuck, right?
It's called bar talk,
Okay,
abso-fucking-lutely.
You guard the fuck out of the wings, and then like get out and run, baby. And then when you're in the half court, share that ball and get some
Right.
shots up from the outside. And so that was one of my favorite parts. I actually one time drove 2 weeks into the job, right? I drive to Hart Butte. Look for that on a map. And I know my dad is listening too. So I had to call my dad because I almost ran out of gas. I'm like, Dad, I need $20 transferred to my bank account immediately because I'm going to run out of gas on this Indian reservation, and I don't know where I am, and I'm about to lose cell service. Bye. Click. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Yeah.
while I'm talking to this coach, we had this awesome talk about Phil Jackson. He's like, oh, yeah, he's from Deer Lodge. I've seen him at the grocery store. And I'm like, wow. You know, and we talked, and sure enough, much like Phil, Coach Hall of the Hart Butte Warriors, I don't know if he's there anymore, but he always wore the J's for the big game, baby. And that's no mistake. Just like Phil, just like MJ, you know. So I don't know if that answered the question or not. But that's
it does. How did the Bulls influence you in wanting to get into this field?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, let's imagine the year's 1996, or 1997, because I was actually in Lincoln Park, 1996, but either living room of my grandfather, right?
Okay.
You pick the one. Whether I'm in Chicago, and, like, I've seen the home videos of me in the riots, you know what I mean? Like, where we're driving down around DePaul campus, and my cousin Jerry's just going nuts. I think she asked somebody to show them their wiener one time in the video. It was really funny. You know, we're wild. We're partiers here. Remember the call. This is my dad here. You said it was pitch black, not a light of pollution out there. Oh, yeah, in Montana. It was cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, I grew up in that scene, that celebration scene, and then being at back in the suburbs in Winfield, Illinois, being in the den with my whole family, it was such an experience because I wasn't old enough to understand the pick and roll. I wasn't old enough to break down a 1-3-1 defense, but I knew my whole family was into this superhero, Michael Jordan, and I had a jersey and I had a haircut like Steve Kerr. And so, like, it really kind of, it was like baptism by fire. I was born October 91. My dad held me in his arms, and he said, there's where Michael Jordan plays. True story. He can collaborate. I don't know. He can
corroborate, maybe, I think it is. Yeah.
Whatever it is, he can do it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, so I was born into it, you know. But what about you? Because you also are from, you know, you're from the South Side, dude. You're in the belly of the beast down there. What was it like for you?
So it's weird because I almost feel bad, but like I don't remember any of it. And I know that sounds so terrible to say, but like I grew up and it was like Jordan was king. There was no question about that. That my parents always talked about it. They always did out of our bar. They used to do road trips before it was impossible to get tickets, where they would travel to all the games and get 20 tickets, no problem.
Wow.
My dad actually has, I posted the other day, one of the actual original Bulls warm-up jackets.
Dude, those are filthy. What?
So we had a friend who worked there, and my dad's like, hey, I want one. Or I don't even know how it happened, but my dad has the button up with the collar, the red collar and the short sleeves.
Okay.
So it was like the Bulls were just always around and you just respected them and knew it. And anyone who talked shit
Know
about
that
it, you were
one,
just
too.
like, get out. But I think it wasn't until I got older that I kind of understood like the magnitude of like what he did. And I think then like the high school that I went to, we were a big basketball high school. And I think from there and growing up in the city where basketball was king, you saw the influence that Jordan and that whole 90s team had on Chicago basketball, period. Like basketball is a way of life. You talk to any guy or girl, it's like Southwest side kids who play basketball, it's a religion. Like it is not, it's not just a game. And I think because of what they did and the Bulls did in the 90s, it is because of that basketball is what it is here.
Oh, 100%. And I'm so happy that they touched on the global influence of the Dream Team. You know, because right now, and honestly, how about instead of like talking about, oh, LeBron is better or Jordan is better, who fucking cares who is better?
Yeah.
Can we like focus on some other aspects here? So you have this team in 1992 that goes to Barcelona. Is it a coincidence that now Spain is the second best place? I wonder if you're having you had a circle of death. You're good now. Great stuff. Yeah, Christian Leitner, even on that team. But that's a team that changed basketball forever because right now you can make an argument that the top two players in the world are from Europe. And so I think it's important that we realize the context of Jordan laying the groundwork for turning basketball into a global game when now you have the USA versus the World Challenge, which you want to talk about an all-star format? Here's my idea. Send this to Adam Silver. I don't want like the just first and second year players. I want the best players from the United States against a team picked globally. Because is insane. You think about Giannis. You think about Jokic. You think about Doncic. These might be three of the top 5 players in the NBA. You know, this is the effect we're seeing it.
I think so All-Star Week was here in Chicago.
And awesome. Shout out to Eli here. I hope basketball's going well for him. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, so I'll say this. One, I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't. So the fact that you said the number 2 country in the world after the United States is Barcelona, it's not a coincidence. Absolutely not. But I do think that once the All-Star game came here and you saw the impact, and it felt like the entire world was in Chicago that weekend. Like it was like, I work in the restaurant industry. So like we had talked about it and it was like, there was so much buildup and so much anticipation towards it. And I think that what people don't necessarily understand, because in the United States, we're very lucky that if you're not a basketball fan, you can be a football fan. And if you're not a basketball fan, you can be a baseball fan. Like we have a lot of different sports that you can go to, but people don't comprehend the global magnitude of basketball in the world. Like there are basketball leagues, like the NBA has a league in like South Africa. They're like adding one to Australia. And I got to meet the head of security, who is a woman, by the way, for the NBA. And she talked about like, you know, when a team travels here or one guy travels here, and you can't believe the amount of people who just flock to them. And so again, we don't understand it because we're a part of it day to day. We don't see it, but it's like, just take a step back, see it on a global scale. Like anyone can pick up a ball and throw it into a hoop. You can't always get a group of guys on a line and to throw football. You know what I mean? Like there's just something different.
I mean, the guy didn't play basketball till he was a teenager and he was discovered by a missionary, you know, like absolutely. And I like some of these comments about Kukoc as well. Gino compared him to Luka Doncic. I could see it. I mean, also, you think about like today's game, you got a 6'11" Croatian that puts it on a dime and can shoot from the outside. And it was good to see him get some love because he was such an important part of that team, especially when Rodman wasn't at the power forward position. You're going to have Tony Kukoc there. And he's not nearly the rebounder, obviously, but ahead of his time by about 20 years. is a
Yeah.
playmaker. This is a guy who can play 2 through 4, who's just a shade under 7 feet tall. And so one of personally my favorite players of all time. My first favorite player when I was old enough to wear Bulls basketball was appointment television. You know what I mean? Like, I watched the games with my folks or whatever when I was a little kid, but Tony Kukoc was my first player. And if you know the Bulls, then you know the time I'm talking about, where he was the best player on the team right before he got traded, and I still am furious. Just sick. It disgusts me that they traded Tony Kukoc for John fucking Starks, the snake in the weeds. All right? Let's talk about it. Oh, no, let's not talk about it because I'm going to get too worked up, but it just... Oh, my God.
It's okay. It's okay. So what we're going to do now is, everyone, if you haven't been drinking, please take a drink. We're going to go into rapid fire last dance questions, okay?
Hell yeah.
So, Adam, you will obviously answer. Everyone who is watching,
I feel like I'm on drunk history, by the way. This is awesome. This is a great show. Awesome.
It's great. Thank you.
Fuck
Thank
John Starks. Yeah. Tim Floyd. Oh, Tim Floyd was a fucking piece of work. He didn't do anything, man. Oh, I have trauma. I have trauma. My early basketball memories is like, hey, let's trade Elton Brand and Ron Artest. You idiots. You fools. All right.
Well, if there's one thing that we've learned, it's that the Bulls front office is not the smartest.
That was the end. That was John. That was Jerry Krause getting himself fired, trading away Kukoc, some of those guys.
Yeah.
Rosekins.
Okay.
I don't know who D. Rosekins is, but he says Tim Floyd better than Phil. No, Phil. Phil for the win.
Phil for the win. Okay. First question, and this is for everyone. So the Last Dance team, okay, 98. We obviously had MJ. There was Pippen. There was Rodman. Who was the fourth most beneficial guy on that team?
Kukoc, 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, no doubt in my mind.
Okay. Guys, this I want you to answer, okay? What kind of drugs would you do with Phil Jackson?
Oh, wow. Anything he wanted to do. I think he'd break out some of the kush, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I would, who knows? Maybe he's got peyote. Maybe he's like, hey, we need to go into the woods. And I'd be like, Phil, as long as you are here with me and you know the triangle offense, we will win against...
In the woods?
Spirit.
In the woods, you'll win the triangle offense in the woods?
Yeah. I mean, with Phil Jackson, who knows, man? He's out there.
I think, honestly, I would just love to just, like, smoke a joint with him. Just, like, real chill, real mellow. Just see where it goes. Like, I just think stoned Phil Jackson would just be...
Shrooms, great answer.
Yeah, shrooms is a great answer. Benji doesn't do drugs. Well, we'll see. Okay, so do you think, with all of the information we know so far, Jerry Krause is to 100% blame for the fallout of the Bulls?
So let's talk about this, right? Because, shoot, this isn't a rapid fire answer, but
it's not. But I'm
honestly,
curious to hear everyone's opinions on it as well.
Just a basic thing here. Like, sometimes it's not good or bad. People always try to compartmentalize, right? Good or bad.
Yeah.
Jerry Krause found Tony Kukoc. Jerry Krause got Ron Harper so the Bulls could have a 6'6" point guard that was like an unbelievable defender to pair with 6'8" Scottie Pippen, 6'6" Michael Jordan, and the best rebound, dirty work player in basketball. Like, someone has to go buy the groceries, right? And so the chef can cook. Phil cooked up some great meals with Michael Jordan as the main ingredient, but you can't ignore that someone's shopping for the groceries, right? And yeah, Pippen was underpaid, but they also brought in the best shooter of all time with Steve Kerr. They brought in the best Euro in the world at the time, or up there. Who knows? Sabonis might have something to say with that. But in Tony Kukoc, in Central Arkansas with Scottie Pippen, and then even to, like, bring in a rival, and you see this theme, if you will, later in the Jackson saga with Kobe, to when they bring in Ron Artest, but to bring in a formal rival in Dennis Rodman, you can't just say, screw Jerry Krause. Like, his name is in the rafters, which is ridiculous as far as I know. Like, that doesn't happen in other places, but he got the team. He got the team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, even John Sally, another bad boy. And so you can blame Jerry Krause for maybe letting his ego get in the way, but we have to be realistic here that this guy also built the most dominant franchise we're probably ever going to see again. Because if the Warriors weren't able to do it with their all-star team.
Yeah, seriously.
Both three-peated twice. Who's the GM? He deserves credit. Like, we can't just demonize Jerry Krause. He made some bad moves, too. But you know what? Old saying I like to live by. You got to risk it to get the biscuit. All right? And cheers to that.
Yeah, someone said he built it, but he also tore it down. Which, I mean, my mom made a comment here because we had talked about it yesterday. I think what's happening is Jerry Krause is getting a lot of blame put on him that was probably Reinsdorf's doing.
I could see it.
Will we ever know, though? Probably not. I mean, you'll hear everything off the record and he say, she say, but, like, are we ever going to get, like, actual verbal confirmation on the record? Probably never.
And Jerry Reinsdorf is never going to say that he cares more about the White Sox than the Bulls, but he does.
We know that.
Yeah.
It's very obvious. As a White Sox fan, I'm fully aware of that. Okay, next question for everyone. On your team, do you want Pippen or do you want Rodman?
Pippen.
Pippen?
Yeah.
I think I want Rodman. Because I think I could shoot, and I don't really want to play a lot of defense.
Oh,
and I think with you. Like, with you. Oh, I'm saying you.
Pippen. I'm giving Pippen the ball, man. I'm good at talking about basketball, not great at basketball, you know.
Okay.
1,000 times over, I'm going Pippen.
Pippen, okay.
And he can pass so well.
All right, so next question. Do we really believe that Justin Timberlake bought his Air Jordans by mowing the lawn?
Yeah, everyone mows the lawn.
The man was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
I mean, I don't know. They probably... you think Mickey Mouse is paying Justin Timberlake?
I'm thinking Mickey Mouse was paying Justin Timberlake at that time.
I don't know what the contract is, but I bet Mickey Mouse is sneakier than that. Mickey Mouse is like, here's some gear, here's a free trip to the park. No, did they make money? I don't know, but I believe that story.
All right, I don't really know if I do. Okay, this I'm curious to hear. What is one thing you think you could beat Michael Jordan at?
Poetry slam. I'd kill him.
Kill him. Okay.
Smoke him. I've never heard his raps, but I've heard mine.
Okay. Guys, for everyone watching, what is one thing you think you can beat Michael Jordan at? I have been trying to think about my answer myself, and I think it would probably be my ability to make cocktails faster than him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would be that and like selling. Like, I'm a salesman at the end of the day. That's part of being a bartender. Like, I can sell a lot of things. So I think if it came down to like a selling, like a sell-off, we'll call it. I think I might be able to win.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so someone said beer pong, free throws, golfing.
Dad, you're not beating Michael Jordan in free throws. Gino?
Hey, he might.
Me and you against Jordan and Pippen. We're not going to win.
Video golf. Video golf. Benji, I'm assuming that's your golden tee. This was a funny line that Jordan said yesterday. He said, sooner or later, you gotta get tired of Seinfeld. Are you tired of Seinfeld?
Are you kidding me? It's been off the air for 2 decades.
It's still on, though.
And I love it. And you know what? I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. And I love anything that Larry David creates. And anything Larry David puts his name on, I'll check it out and I'll probably like it. So, no, I thought this was a bad take.
Okay. All right. So, question for everyone. Besides LeBron James, obviously, if Michael Jordan was back in Space Jam, had to go back to Moron Mountain and beat the Monstars, who is one current player in the league right now he would take with him?
Ooh. I'm gonna give people a chance to answer before I jump in. I have a short list. Seinfeld or Curb, absolutely. Latte Larry's.
So if anyone who's just jumping on, the question is, besides LeBron James, if Michael Jordan had to go back to
Yeah,
Moron Mountain and beat the
100%.
Monstars, who would he take currently in the league to be on his team?
I think Giannis has to be the first one you consider.
Oh, for sure.
Giannis, he could play all 5 positions, right?
Giannis, but there's also a part of me, and I think I'm partial because like I just love Steph Curry, and I think Steph might just be like so smooth and like Mr. Suavemente out there that I think he might just out smooth them.
Jokic, love the Jokic answer.
Yes.
I'm sorry, who would out smooth?
I think Steph Curry would.
Oh, yeah. Steph
Yeah.
Curry's marketable, too.
Yeah.
In 3 is better than 2. And Steph Curry, you know, you got to think about that. Like, how did Jordan win the game? He had to get outside of the box and believe that his arm could stretch 52 and a half feet. And damn it, it did. All right.
Someone said not in the league, but number 1, Lola Bunny.
Lola Bunny, fine, though. Let's be real. You know.
Oh, God. Okay, and Michael Jordan said that his favorite arena to play in was Madison Square Garden. If you got to play, what arena would you want to play in?
The Boston Garden, man. Top of my bucket list, see a game there. Real talk.
Okay. All right, and then last question. Knowing everything we know, would you want to be like Mike?
No. I mean, like, yes and no. I think that, like, I don't think anybody could be Mike better than Mike. And so I wouldn't want to be like Mike, you know?
Yeah.
And there is a lot of pressure with that, being the most famous person alive. And I think that, and shoot, like, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows either. Like, you know, his dad got killed. That would really suck.
Yeah.
And so I think Michael Jordan, I believe everybody should be the best them. You know what I mean? Not to get all Phil Jackson on you.
You can.
Everybody should be their best them, you know?
Right.
And so I would want to be like Mike. I'd want to be like me and do the best I can, not to get all fucking weird on you. But that's how I feel about it. Let Mike be like Mike, because no one can be like Mike better than Mike.
Okay. On that note, we are going to end on a toast. We end on a toast every evening. So everyone, please raise your glasses. And we end on a toast from none other than Michael Jordan. And he says, some people want it to happen, some wish it would happen, and other people make it happen. So cheers to making it happen.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. Good time.
Adam, thank you so much. I appreciate all of your banter, all of your insightfulness. We will talk very, very soon. And I know, just like you and me, I can't wait for Sunday. Never thought I'd say those words.
Here.
Yes.
Rock with the Bulls podcast. Check it out. Follow me here, whatever, how that works. If there's a button, sure. Fantastic, Mr. Fou, F-O-U-X. But yeah, thank you for having me on. I'd love to come back and talk about the modern Bulls. I think that we're at an interesting time. So whenever the time is appropriate.
When there will be a follow-up, because I don't want to be excited, but I kind of am.
Yep.
You know?
It'll wrap you every time. I'm excited.
I know.
And I will, just a little foreshadowing, they got some guys from some really good organizations, and that's the first start. So there's a glimmer of hope, believe it or not.
Glimmer of hope in these very, very dark times. All right. Well, Adam, thank you again. We will talk soon, and I will share Running with the Bulls afterwards so people can watch that and listen to it. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, Adam.
Bye.
All right, guys. That was Adam Chalifoux. I told you, seriously, there's no bigger Bulls fan than that man right there. So if you need any Bulls updates, information, you want great insight, he is the guy to go to. I will share everything afterwards so you can give him a follow. Guys, thank you again for another fantastic episode of Bar Talk. I know I'm just like, I'm loving these Bulls so much. And I heard an interesting comment the other day from Chris Paul, and he said, can you imagine right now if basketball was playing while this was happening? because what we would see from guys and girls would be pure greatness. So hopefully, no matter what. William Tang. William, I will call you later. I'm clearly live. I'll call you. I'll call you. Anyways, I don't remember what I was trying to say. I don't know. We're just gonna wrap it up. Okay, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Confirming my guest tonight, so when I know, I'll post it later tonight, but still just waiting for confirmation. But anyways, guys, have a great night. Stay safe, drink responsibly, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.